All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me. It is pre-market hours right now. It is, I forgot the date, April 18th. All right, April 18th, 2022, pre-market hours. I want to get this video out because this company is available for pre-order right now. And, IPOs are coming back. They are coming. Someone asked me, when are they coming back? Look, they're not popping like 2022, right? They're not going from $4 to 25, 30, 40, 50 bucks on day one. That's awesome. But, it would be nice if they, but they are, they're starting to come back. I mean, the last one I pre-ordered was at $4, right? Before it went public. In case anyone's new, you pre-order at $4 before it goes public. And then what happened is it opened on day one at $5.11, $5.25 around there, which is $1.25 per share up. That's awesome. Instantly free money. I'm out, right? So, that's the way I do it is I pre-order this cheap IPOs and I sell them on day one, pop one, and that's it. I don't hold them any longer because if you hold them longer, you're most likely going to lose money. So as soon as they pop on day one, just get out with that free money, that free beautiful profit, and that's it. And by the way, it does not count as a day trade, so that's awesome, right? So this IPO we're going to talk about is going public on the 21st, April 21st, and it's going to be available for $4 a share around there for pre-order. Let's get started. So we're going to talk about Jayud Global Logistics, and it has filed for a very tiny $7 million IPO. And I stress the tiny because that's actually good, that it's just a $7 million IPO. The company provides a variety of transportation logistics services in China. It's a Shenzhen, China-based company. If anyone doesn't feel comfortable with with investing in Chinese stocks, like I said, this is just to pre-order and sell on day one, pop one, in my opinion. So they offer cross-border logistics services to enterprise customers in the Greater Bay in southern China. The company is headed by CEO Mr. Xiang Wang, if I pronounce it right again, I killed the name for sure, who has been with the company since 2011. They offer freight forwarding services, supply chain management, other value-added services. By the way, there was last year in 2021 another Chinese logistics IPO that actually did well. So I'm saying this is I think might do well. They have received $5.6 million in investments from Europa Investment Holdings, Cassini Investment Holdings, Tucana Investment Holdings, Formax Investment Holdings. If we look at the total revenue of the company, 2020, $40.8 million, 2021, $85.5 million, and then in 2022, just for the first 6 months, 2022, $67.6 million, which is a 190% increase over the 6 months of 2021. Overall, revenue is exploding. Gross profit loss went from $2.9 million to $5.4 in 2021 to $4.6 million for the first 6 months of 2022. The gross margin is very tiny at 7 to 6%. And I think it reminds me of BANL. They had a very tiny gross margin also, which I had found it negative, although I did say in my video that BANL was a buy and a good pre-order. I did say that. And if anybody wants to check that video out. And what happened to BANL, it went from $4 to 18 plus. Right, so operating profit loss at $892,000 in 2021, $2 million, and 6 months of 2022, $1.8 million. Comprehensive income loss went from $432,000 to $1.6 million. Cash flow from operations went from $2.1 to $664,000, and they have $7 million in cash, $25 million in total liabilities. Free cash flow is positive 1.7, which is surprising. And the float to outstanding shares ratio is at 6.9%, which is extremely. That's basically going to mean that this is going to be a very volatile IPO, and you're going to see that in the IPO crossing. It should be very volatile. Market cap at 96 million, enterprise value 90 million, price to sell 0.7, EV to revenue 0.6, EV to EBITDA 26.9, earnings per share positive 13 cents, operating margin 2.5%, and the net margin 2.1%. Let me show you something real quick. Let me skip this valuation score. Now the benchmark company is the underwriter. So let's look at some past IPOs they brought. One of the IPOs they brought was Hard Test Laboratories, which didn't do well. It was a $4 IPO that opened up a thing at 2 or 3. Immediately people lost money, and they had to wait until that one in July of 2022. They had to wait all the way until never mind. They're still waiting. So if you had been holding this, you're never up. All right, but they did bring Belite Bio Incorporation, which that exploded big time. It opened up at 10 plus. and then it went all the way up to 40 plus, and that's at 29. Either way you look at it, now this was a successful one by Benchmark Company. They also bought, the same underwriter brought SKYX Platforms Corp, which that exploded all the way up to $16 plus, and that's at 349. But like I said, you don't, I sell them on day one. But overall, most of their IPOs did well, with exception to Hard Test Laboratories. Valuation score, I'm neutral. This valuation score means that it's just for entertainment purposes. Do not trade according to it. The Benchmark Company is the underwriter, and overall, I think, in my opinion, that this IPO would be a good IPO for me personally speaking to pre-order. So I would like to pre-order this. It has a very tiny float. What else? Float test and shares ratio. They have it's just a $7 million IPO. Everything is very, 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 very tiny. I think that overall, it most likely should open over $5. So this is just my opinion, of course, right? And with that being said, thank you very much for watching this video. I wish you all the best. Take care.